So in this video we're doing the dark bag card. Okay. Well, the dark bag, there's a real dark bag in my collection. This is the real dark bag. And it's, if I was going on a pilgrimage, whatever money was given to me, because I wouldn't be carrying any money to start the pilgrimage, I would start with nothing. And if somebody gave me some money, I'd put it in this dark bag, okay? The dark bag is the money bag. And there's other stuff in here because money is the darkest thing you can possibly have. Filthy, filthy lucre. And there's other things in here, there might be bones or some bits left over. What's this thing here? Oh, this is a sawn off piece of my boat and a few things here. It's a dark side, metal object, that's the dark side of the altar. Okay, and so every high priest, the high priest, what's the high priest? Well, we haven't covered that yet. The high priest, the prophet and the philosopher, all these are part of the same journey. One merges into the other, and the high priest has the Urim and the Thummim. There's two objects, okay, and one is a dark bag, that's the dark side of the altar, okay, and the other is the light side of the altar, okay. Now, one might be a staff that you're walking with. I have a very small object that represents that now, okay. So these are my objects of the Urim and the Thummim. They're dark, the light. It's interesting because this is in the wrong hand, right? It's interesting. This is the left hand of God, this is the right hand of God. Okay. When you put them down like that on the altar. That's on the left and that's on the right. Okay. Just move this out the way. And if you are travelling, you might have a portable altar. Okay, this is a portable altar. Ring the bells that still can ring. Forget your perfect offering. Okay. Then the Kohen. And this is a little altar. The altar doesn't need to be big, it just needs to be stone, the right substance. And it's able to be the altar. And to the right of the altar it goes a dark bag, and to the left of the altar goes manuka oil, or if you had it, a crystal, probably a quartz crystal. This is the equivalent of my quartz crystal. This is a manuka bottle of manuka oil, very high level stuff. Now I also notice on the same, and this is on one side of the Windows sledge, and this is on the other side. And I also look what else is on the other side. There's also a bottle of propolis, which is what the bees make. Okay. Now there's also an altar here in this room, and this is the most left-hand side of that altar, and this is the most right-hand side of that altar. So between the two of them, these are the most powerful left and rights, but there's also this left and right for that room over there, okay? And this room has a couple of cameras. It's on the right-hand side, that side there. Okay. And so if one wanted to have the deepest connection with God that one could have, one would take up the two objects from the altar and hold them, okay? And if one did that, close one's eyes and just found out what comes, then something might come. Yet, you only do that if you find yourself doing it. I haven't done this for a long time. Sometimes you open the bag, you put something in it. Sometimes these objects move around. So they become a sign of the times, really, in your house. These days when I travel, I don't generally take an altar with me, and I don't take these objects with me normally. There have been times when I've been living on the road where I have these objects. Probably wouldn't be something this size. I would probably have a crystal or something, and I would still have them. I had them once. I had them built into my belt. I had a special belt that I made myself out of many pieces of yurt cloth left over from the yurt people. I made a belt, and I had places for this, and I had my cards in there, my Celtic Wisdom deck and so on, and I had my hat. I had a hat, somebody gave me a big Stetson hat, very similar to this. So I had my lawgiver's hat then, without even knowing what it was, yeah. And so, for me it's an old journey, yeah, which I'm still travelling on this journey. Yeah, it's been a long journey. And, well, I'm not going to tell you about this in this card. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the bag a little bit, because that's the dark side, okay? I'll take 5 and I'll get rid of these. Okay, now I'll put it all away. When I went to put the bag back, I noticed that next to the bag, or that other side of the altar, there's some other dark objects. So this is a dark stone, okay? So that's also on the same side next to the bag, okay? And then we have 2 coins sets, both identical. The Rolling Stones 60-year anniversary on the dark side. Now what is interesting is there's a whole collection of light coins. These are a set of dark coins. And these coins now are in Germany. Yeah. And those coins have got the Queen on them and the Alfred the Great on them, and they're solid silver coins. They're special coins. And these are like the dark fake coins, if you like, the Rolling Stones coins, because the Rolling Stones represents the dark group, right? So we've got the dark individual and the dark group. And then on the other side we've got this object here. Sorry, this is on the same side, on the dark side. Okay, the dark side. This is a symbol for Jena and Jena University. Jena University is a very, very dark place. Dark place in East Germany. Now, there's another object on the other side of the altar. I'll show you that other object. Right, this is a temple in Eisenach, where my lady lives, and this is a very light place in Germany. Okay, so that's on the other side of the windowsill. So we've got, you know, light and dark representing 2 places. different places. One is in the east of East Germany, and the other's in the west of East Germany. Okay. Right. So I thought you might be interested to see what objects are associated with the dark bag. The dark bag is underneath the camera. Okay, the dark bag. Now, when I looked at this dark bag card, I saw there was a picture in there, although I had just drawn a bag initially. I saw it looked like a little penguin, a penguin in bondage. Okay, if you can see that. And so the dark bag is normally carried by Judas Iscariot, all right, who is the dark element within the group of light. Within the group, okay, he's the Keith Richards in the group, okay. And he's dealing with the money, yeah, he's dealing with the money. But as you can see, all the money is in his hands, because nobody else wants to touch the money. And so he's the treasurer, okay. And I've had the role of being the treasurer, yeah. And it's interesting because I am the trustworthy man of light treasurer. I was never a treasurer in a group ever before, and I haven't been one since. I only became the treasurer of a group once, and that group was called the Frets Music Club. And when I had been playing guitar and trying to teach myself how to play guitar, and at some point when the place that I was living in was moved into the light pathway, this is in 1996, something like that. When it was moved into the light pathway, suddenly I got out. I wanted to go out of the house. I never used to go out. And so I got my guitar. I found out there was a place called the Iron Pot Cafe. And I wanted to go out and find this place and meet other people who were playing guitar. Okay, I'd heard about this place. And so I went to this place and I met other people, and we started off just sitting around the tables, and I didn't take my guitar, I just took a harmonica, and they were playing guitar and I played harmonica. I had a few harmonicas, different keys, and I could find the right key for them. I would just blow a little bit on the harmonica together with the other musicians, and we kind of got to know each other. And it was only a few weeks of this, and we suddenly decided that we wanted to form a music club because somebody had offered us, because they saw that we were doing this. They said, there's this old defunct club called Frets Music Club, they got a bit of equipment, would you like to take it over? Yeah. And so the main guy there that was playing guitar, I was playing harmonica, we kind of talked to each other, and I was a computer professional, so I had the most money of the people who were playing there. You know, he was a furniture salesman. Oh no, he was an insurance salesman, that's what he was, an insurance salesman. And so they were okay, but they didn't have like £1,000 just to throw at the club, sort of thing. And so I said we got together and we started to get this equipment, and it wasn't good enough. You know, it was old, it needed better equipment. It needed proper microphones. All the microphones were no good, and cables and mic stands and a PA system and a few other things, you know, it needed a few things. And I think I put about £2,000 I gave to the club. I said, look, I'll give the club £2,000 so it can buy this stuff, and the club can pay it back to me if it's ever in a position to do this, okay? So it can just be like a loan. And so I thought, seeing as I made the loan, I'd better be the treasurer. So I was holding the dark bag for the group, right? And I had the job, I had given the group, it was all my money. Nobody else gave any money. And so I had this job now of holding keep an account, the treasury, right? Now, So it started off with nothing. It started off with an asset register of this old equipment, and it started off with me putting $2,000 into the bank account, and then me together with the other guy to start to spend this money to buy the things we need, the PA system and all this kind of stuff. And so we bought it all. We spent all the money in like a week. Just spent it all, bought everything that we needed. And it was like Christmas for the club. And we set up the equipment and we started to do this stuff on stage, and it was a wonderful thing really to watch this group grow organically. This was an organic group. Nobody was organising this. It was self-organising, yeah. And we decided on a name for the club. We called it Fret's Music Club, and I decided to make some artwork and some membership cards, and I gave the artwork to one of the other guys, and he got it all photocopied and made up the cards up, and then somebody else gave them around, and you know, they had the membership cards and all the rest of it. And from the membership cards, they got the membership fee. You know, it was only a small amount, but they all added up. And then, if you had the membership card, you could get in for free. But other people had to pay on the door. You know, it wasn't a big thing. It was like a pound to get in or something like that. But somebody decided that we were going to sit on the door and take the money in, and we started to play. And it turned. It was a wonderful thing, really. I almost feel like crying about it. It was wonderful, and I'm just remembering it now. And it just grew from nothing into 1,000 people standing on the tables while we're all jamming music and just loving every minute of it. It was like a music revolution in the whole town. It was wonderful, wonderful. And so the money came in, and we hired the equipment out. If people wanted to, in the club, if you belonged to the club, you could hire the PA system. We had a bass keyboard amp, big keyboard amp. You could hire that. And these things got hired out, you know. Some weeks they go out, some they wouldn't. And then we'd get performers come and play, because we had the gear. Some folk artist would come, and we'd put a special evening on for them. We made money from that. And so in the end, it took a while, it took about a year or so, but all the money got paid back. And so I was a treasurer, and I kept the books, and I remember keeping exact count of everything. And when I got my money back, I said, well, you know, that's okay, I'll just hand over the treasurer to somebody else. And I gave it to somebody else, and I had my money back, the £2,000 that I paid in, and the club was all square, didn't owe anybody any money, and so I left it at that, really. And so that's my experience holding the dark bag, and I never stole a penny. But you know, inside here is all the money that the man holding the dark bag has got put aside for himself, you see, because normally there's a bit of this going on, a bit of subterfuge going on with the dark bag. There's a temptation there, you know. And so I'm not saying that it happens every time, but if there's going to be corruption in the group, it's Judas Iscariot, the treasurer, who holds the bag, yeah, who does the dirty on the group and dobs them in to the thought police, yeah. So somebody's got to do this, yeah. If you're on pilgrimage, you have to hold the bag yourself. You have to hold the bag yourself, yeah. You have to have, if somebody gives you some money, you've got to have somewhere to put it. And when you spend it, you've got to put your change in it, and so on. And if you're on pilgrimage, you don't normally have anything in this bag, because as soon as somebody gives you some money, you go and spend it and buy some food. That's all you need on the road. Yet if you were running a group, you would need to have the treasurer of the dark bag. And you know, some groups are organic groups, natural groups. Groups can form naturally, and there's nobody telling anybody what to do in these groups. Yet the other kind of organisation, those that you actually organise. You say, I'm going to make this thing, and you give it a name. There was a certain element of organisation in this because we felt we had to be legal about this stuff, so we had a legal name in the legal system and so on and so forth. Yeah. But there's no real need to be legal or to even give the group a name. If a group forms, they can just, it's best to call the group by what they are. Yeah. So if you've got a group of motor mechanics, then you normally call the group the garage. And if the motor mechanics play music together after hours, after they fix the motor cars, you call them the garage band. And you normally play that song. What's that song? Thanks for watching. Well, I'm going to pull the next card now for the next video, just so that we can see what's coming. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll get the reading for the next card. Thanks for watching. The next card is Elder. Elder.